Now, despite the difficulties in the wine sector and the resultant decrease in global production of wine, South Africa has produced 10.8 million liters of wine this year, and that's an increase of about 2% compared to that of 2015. Now, though South Africa's increase in wine production has withstood the economic crisis in the country, but it still has reason to be concerned for the months to come.
Despite difficulties in the wine sector on a global scale, producers of wine in South Africa do not seem to complain. This is due to the fact that the sector has stood up well to the climate shock and the economic crisis in the country, even if there is nothing to indicate that it is not likely to suffer in months to come. South Africa has produced 10.8 million liters of wine this year, an increase of 2% compared to 2015. A bond which placed the country at the 8th position in the world ranking and consolidates its position as a leader in the list of producers of wine in Africa. But the progression of South Africa is in strong contrast with the sluggishness of the production at a global level, in clear regression in 2017. According to the estimate of the International Organization of Wine, there are fears that global production could fall to 246.7 million liters, that is a drop of 8.2% compared to the previous year, diminishing a surplus over demand seen in recent years. This is its lowest level in more than half a century. The fall could in turn affect prices as actual market supply becomes increasingly dependent on stocks from previous years and the availability of quality wines from landmark regions. Extreme weather conditions in the key European wine-producing countries of Italy, France, and Spain this year has contributed to the lowest level of wine production since 1961, the International Organization of Vin and Wine, OIV, announced. In Italy, production slumped 23% to 39.3 million hectoliters, while in France, the drop was 19% to 36.7. Production in Spain fell 15% to 33.5, according to the Paris-based OIV, an intergovernmental organization that provides scientific and technical advice on vines and wine. From the difficulties in the wine sector at a global level, only 4 European countries have seen their wine production advance: Portugal 10%, Hungary 3%, Australia 23%, returning to Romania 64% to 5.3 million hectoliters. The 4th largest producer in the world, the United States, have maintained their level of production, estimated at 23.3 million hectoliters this year, against 23.6 million hectoliters in 2016, a very slight decline. In Latin America, on the other hand, things are rather well placed after a bad year 2016. For example, Argentina, the 6th largest producer in the world, displays a jump of 25% to 11.8 million hectoliters, still far from its level of 2015.